Okay, you could be faced with situations where you want to distribute a file out to all the students that are logged in at the time, or even you might want to collect things from their network drive. So here's a little look at how you can do that. I'm going to go ahead and close this folder here. This is an Insight thing, so I'm going to use the Insight software that's running down here, the little tiny icon on the dock at the bottom. It looks like it's round with an owl in it, so I'm going to bring that up and I'll maximize that. And let's talk about distributing a file first of all. Again, what I've done here is I've just logged in on all the machines as me, because there's not a class in here right now. If you want to send a file, if you have worked on an example of something, or you have a starting file that you want the students to start with and then work on and then save, here's how you can do that. Again, Insight will show everybody who's logged in, and for a student to receive a file, if you're going to send it, they have to be logged in. So I go over here to this files set, and there's a little drop down arrow here, and I'm going to send a file. All right, so I'll say send files. Now I can browse first of all for the file that I want to send. That's what this first line is for, so I can browse, and for right now I'll just send kind of a dummy file here. I've got this thing on my desktop called, if I can find it, called delete me. It's a little text file, but you can browse around and find whatever file you want, and you click open. Now this next part, the student destination folder, in most cases what you want to do is send it to just their network drive, which you can specify by saying h:\\. That's their home drive, their network drive. So it's just h:\\, and that will send it to their network drive. When I was during the first part of the quarter, I was sending things to in the 8th grade classes, I was sending things to a folder that they have called Dropbox, and they're kind of used to that. But you can just send things to their network drive, h:\\. So I've got this file selected here, and I've told Insight where I want to send it. Now you have to be a little bit careful with this option right here. If they already have a copy, you can check mark overwrite it if it already exists. You know, sometimes that's okay, but again, you don't want to overwrite something that the student was working on or whatever, so you have to be a little bit careful with that. But once you have it all set, you just say send now, and off it goes. You know, and this one went really fast because it's a very small file, and you know, it just didn't take much time at all. If you have bigger files, it might take a little bit longer, and depending on how many people are logged in, it might take a little bit longer. But it will show, and this actually gave me an error here for some reason, but I think that's just because I was kind of trying to send it to myself, and that won't happen when you have a classroom full of students that are logged in. So that's how you do it. You know, you do that send files. Now, just the opposite, I'm going to click finish down here. And if you say, okay, I want to collect files, I want to grab files, all right, so you can say collect files, and this just kind of flips things around. You want to collect files from the following folder. Well, if they have it on their network drive, if it's on h:\\, you can collect from there. If they have it in a particular folder, what I always did was I told them to save things in their Dropbox folder, and then I could just put in here Dropbox. All right, and then I could tell it what kinds of files that I wanted to collect. You know, and I use a lot of wildcards. If I wanted all of their Photoshop files, I would put star.psd. That's everything that's a Photoshop file. Or if I wanted all of their Illustrator files, I would put star.ai, because that's all of their Illustrator files. And a lot of times I do it that way. If you're looking for a particular file, you can put the name of the file right there and tell it, okay, go out to all the student drives and collect this file name. And the other thing you have to tell it is, where do you want to put it? You know, where do you want to copy it to? Because it's going to go out to their network drive, and it's going to grab a copy, and so it wants to know right here where it says copy files to the following folder. It wants to know where do you want to put these? So I would browse, and again, I very often did this. I put things on this little hard drive that I'm leaving here for you. It's drive E, and you know, a lot of times I would collect files from there. I have a collection folder here, and I even have a folder for semester 2, and then here's all the classes that I have in semester 2. So for example, if it's first hour computer graphics, there's a 001 CG, and then it makes Insight goes ahead and does this. It makes all these subfolders with everybody's user ID. It does that on its own. So if you're collecting, like during first hour, you could stick things on that Drive E in the collection folder in semester 2 and find the folder that you want. And I did that a lot. I collected files that way. Now, I don't know I don't know how much file collecting you'll really get into. You may not really have to do it that much. But I thought it might be a good idea to show you how. Sending files, you might want to send some files occasionally. I'm just going to cancel that and close that. But anyway, it's all located right up here. Send files, collect files. And it's pretty useful in certain situations. All right, so there it is.